Hello everybody, and welcome to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. My name is Owen. I mentioned before that I have played a tiny bit of this game, I think maybe like an hour or so, like multiple years ago now. So this is basically going to be brand new after that first hour, and even that first hour I'm like really shaky, I don't really remember much. But we'll be starting with the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, and then I would like to also do Great Ace Attorney 2, so let's get started. Oh, if you hear a meow in the background,
Japan, after opening its doors,
I just got a new cat and he's a little chatty, so.
Brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
Ash has a brother now, officially.
The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
November, 8:43 a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond these doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Wait, Naruhodo. Naruhodo, okay. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I am this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given the verdict on this case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh yeah, of course, sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspaper these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Yeah, it seems like they're definitely reserving judgment on this case. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asoji, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's not even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still... Oh. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yeah, that's when this all started. Congratulations. Oh, congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're gonna get your study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean and see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. All right, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asoji, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Asoji. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about the procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. All right then. Ryunosuke, I'll see you in the courtroom. Yeah, thanks, Kazuma. This is a little awkward. Oh, yeah, this is awkward. If I may. Yeah, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Naruhodo. I'll get that right. Yeah, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asoji has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you have no doubt heard, Asoji's been granted permission to go study abroad in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected.
You are unaware of this. I had a feeling that Asoji may have chosen not to tell you.
He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing?
The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances.
I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer.
I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial.
Sorry? What do you mean?
You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway.
But then what should I do?
Well, naturally I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction.
Right, so...
As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, "I do."
I do? But what will the question be?
Surely.
Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you?
Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asoji must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway.
This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying broad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable journey. Trial. Shit, I can read, I promise. Uh-oh. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. 22nd of November, 9 o'clock a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. So this is a courtroom. We only look mostly terrified. I'd say that's a good sign. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there.
The powers that be have determined that this be a secret trial.
A secret trial?
A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend.
What? But why?
It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I'm obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
Oh, so now this is the part where we have to say I do, right? We have to represent ourselves to make sure our friend doesn't lose his opportunity. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I'll do it.
Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. I'm standing here beside the defendant. I hope it's clear who will advocate his defense. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst?
I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself.
You'll be... what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke?
Professor Mikatoba told me everything, just now before the trial.
He did what?
He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose.
How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off?
No, it's not that, really. It's just that... well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you...
Yes. I knew that's how you would feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikatoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel. Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not so confident at all. In fact, my mind's completely blank.
I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Huh. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated the most heinous crime indeed.
You don't know what the crime is? As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency.
It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken.
My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am.
So, let's start with the very simplest of questions.
Oh, yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. Oh, I'm so nervous. I can't even remember that. What was it again?
Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank?
You know me so well.
All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record.
But I can't even find that.
It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of the right bumper. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there.
I just have to press right bumper for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. Right bumper.
This is the list of evidence that you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with right bumper. You'll find details about the victim here. When you're done... Oh, excuse me. Oh. Yeah. When you're done, just press B to go back.
Alright. John H. Wilson, the victim of this case. Got it.
So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Then press Y to present. Try it now.
Yes! Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we've just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
But I didn't do it.
This case is coming under a great deal of scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter.
In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it?
Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman.
Yeah, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime.
Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer.
Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson.
Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death.
The cause of death? Well, obviously that was,
Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence.
By evidence? But how?
Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now.
Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to his chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Okay. Present.
Yes!
Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yeah, that's right. The, post-mortem report.
In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way.
Oh, I see. I hope I'm not... as long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the crime scene. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the gunpowder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record.
The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible.
Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it then.
I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind.
The professor? You mean Dr. Mikatoba?
Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant.
Of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asoji must not be the defense lawyer in this trial.
He really has been sticking to his oar in, hasn't he?
Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma.
Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats.
Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. Oops. I'm the head waiter of the Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival.
Oh. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some,
It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
Well, it really should.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern corner was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants.
And wait, what? An Occidental eatery? Occidental? Am I an idiot? Why don't I know that word? I don't know. 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, will you please tell the court everything you can about the incident? At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring?
It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied.
It's been a week. I took a week off last week, and I've apparently forgotten how to read. That fits with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in that place.
It was when I noticed. It was when
I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. Oh my god. Oh my god.
A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened.
I found the victim, an English gentleman slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on! Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you shall be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student.
Huh? Wait, what did he just say?
There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? I don't have proof of this, right? Should I wait and, like, press on that statement during the, like, next phase? I think I'll wait and see. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I'd never gotten into Yume University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. All right, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection! Dear me, dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance that you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of the events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant, as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout, drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I had to use the back of a business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course, here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered. All right, let's be done with the coughing, please. Thank you.
So, the court has now heard
A precis of the case. This dude uses words I don't know, and that's not fair.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. Oh my god. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this.
As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it?
What?
If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is.
Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
Ugh.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness.
And I think we'll continue this in next week's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry for my absolute complete inability to read today. I think I'm just a little bit rusty, maybe. But yeah, we'll get back into the swing of things. I think this is going to be a fun playthrough. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.